Hi, welcome to JJ's Productions, and we've just seen a win for a change. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit speechless. I'm going to say, but for good reasons this time. We've got 2 goals, not conceded any. I would say it's been a good day. I think Campbell did okay. Mum disagrees a little bit. I think Gregory, he deserved his penalty. I think the team played well defensively. I was nervous at times. I was making noises, which I'm not really proud of. But yeah, I think overall, good day out, good result, and hopefully something that we can build on. But let's see what else we think.
Yay! Was that good enough? Yay! Yay! Enjoyed it. As Josh said, credit where credit's due. Campbell scored, but he didn't do much else. Sorry, but that's how I feel. And he went down with an injury, but it was plain for everybody to see it was cramp. So, but he just will not attack a ball. He won't go for one. And it's really getting at me now. So, I'm sorry all you Campbell likers. I know I'm being negative after a good win, but I've got to be honest, I'd rather have Hogan on there. So, but apart from that, we've changed seats because I now go in me scooter. So, it's a different seat, and I think it's bought us a look. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. And everybody was shouting, what's his name? Nathan Jones, Army, which I think must have cheered him up because it's the first time that it's been sung.
At least in earnest, you've had the little pocket singing it, but it's the first time it felt like a large number were behind him.
Yeah, so I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think we're on the up.
Well, let's hope that it is a sign of what's to come, because I think we're all fed up of talking about losses, we're all fed up of talking about poor results, poor performances, so I am crossing everything that come Tuesday when we play Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough, we get a positive result, or at least a positive performance there, because, you just can't guarantee positive results no matter what league you're in. Yeah. But let's hope that at least we build on these performances and results and just get something
Potters.
Up there. Okay, so we're going to continue the vlog and we'll talk more about this when we've caught our breath. Hi, welcome to the Stoke City Vlogcast. I'm Josh, this is Jan, and we've been away for a while.
My fault, folks.
You're saying that, it isn't your fault. We had a trip to the A&E 2 weeks ago, was it? Maybe 3 now? Nothing serious as it turned out, but we were advised to go, so we had to do what the doctor told us. Then last week we were going to do the recording, and then the laptop we had been recording on said, no, you will not record on here anymore. So, yeah, we had to come up with a solution in the meantime, so hopefully this doesn't break.
Crash and burn.
Yeah, it's taken about an hour to set this up, so hopefully it won't... hopefully. Leave it at that.
I'm still sitting here very patiently.
You are, dear.
Yeah. Right. What's first? Huddersfield.
Let's get out the way quick. Cameron Carter-Vickers, I felt so sorry for you. Actually, I'll tell you this, you were probably the player I felt most sorry for this season. You looked on the verge of tears waiting outside the Birmingham match for get on the coach as if you'd lost your soul. Then I see you playing at right back against Huddersfield, and I've never seen a player put into a graveyard shift more than anyone like that. So I think you are the one I feel most sorry for this season. Not to mention, if we're going to add as well, he got a bit of an injury against Sheffield Wednesday as well, so quite a few things rolled into one there.
I mean, that night against Huddersfield, everyone in the Franklin stand were really moaning at him. And I felt sorry for the lad. He didn't know how to pass the ball forward, did he?
Nope.
And he kept passing back. Of course, everybody was getting frustrated at it. But he kept going to Nathan Jones and saying something. I'm sure it'd be, I can't do this, boss. Or words to that effect.
Even if it's the other way around and Jones was coaching him essentially, saying this is how you do this is how you do that.
Yeah.
It's still not ideal that he was being coached on the fly essentially, especially when Tom Ed was on the bench.
Yeah.
And Tommy Smith is who knows where.
I don't know where he's gone. I think he's gone back beyond me.
Maybe Huddersfield kidnapped him.
Yeah, yeah. But I did feel sorry for him. And apart from that, the match was absolute dire.
Yeah.
I couldn't even be bothered to watch half the time. I did, but I wasn't interested.
No, I mean, it was a tough match. I mean, I came out thinking Nathan Jones had lost his job after that.
Definitely.
And it's where I'm quite comfortable moving on to Swansea, because I feel like we have had a good result there, obviously. Yeah. It was a bad start. I think that the opening minute is the only mistake Adam Federici has made since he came into goal ahead of Jack Butland. We'll get onto Jack in a moment. But yeah, I think Federici's done well, bar that one mistake that let Swansea into school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was like a catalyst for climbing, just getting the Swansea result.
And I was so sad I couldn't go, but I just couldn't risk it how I was feeling.
No.
And I'm listening to it on the radio, and I'm nearly in tears because they score, and I wanted to be there.
Just as a little added side note, the day that match happened, I decided to have a bet as well. Oh, not very often I do that nowadays. And I'd got 4 teams on it, and the winnings would have been £300. And then James bloody Milner decided to nobble it, and I went penniless. So, yeah, thanks, James.
So it wasn't a very good day. Well, it was for Stoke.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did actually say it on Twitter. I'm happy we won, even if it meant I lost my bet. But come on, did it have to be both?
Yeah. I mean, my throat was sore with shouting.
Yeah.
I mean, we could have had 4 goals, at least.
Could have 300 nicker. Forget Swansea, forget the Stoke game. I was still bothered about that.
I know, and you're bloody miserable all night about it.
Oh, I wasn't that bad.
No. Anyway, it was a good win against Swansea.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad we got the win. I mean,
got 3 points. Oh, against the top of the league.
I mean, the thing is as well, it lifted the gloom.
Yeah.
And everyone's been moaning left, right, and centre all season, and most of it's been justified. But you still look at it and you go, can we just have a break from it?
Yeah.
And that is what it gave us. It gave us a break from the gloom, the moaning, the grumbling.
Yeah.
Praise and Grumble summed it up a caller saying, I'm glad that I'm actually able to praise the team rather than just grumble, because that's what the show was becoming.
And it wasn't all about Nathan.
Yeah.
It was about the players, how well they'd done. And to me, that was worth a fortune, because I was sick of hearing about Nathan Jones, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I'm still 100% behind him.
The way I see it is, we're moving ahead pretty fast here, but we'll go to the Fulham game. And just to clarify this, like, we've done this recording once already because, like I say, we've had technical issues. The overlays around us, they're for the Huddersfield, Swansea, Fulham and Sheffield Wednesday game. So if you're looking at stuff and going, hang on, why have you put that fixture there? That's because I did the overlays last week and I wasn't going to waste them. But
don't blame me, lad.
Just going to the Fulham game, though, it's like you say, they did play for the manager that day.
Yeah, they did.
I think Nathan Jones did the sensible thing in picking a settled 11. He didn't make changes he didn't need to.
Well, can I tell you, the first paragraph I wrote, well, the first 3 words I wrote was wow, wow, wow. And then I went on to say the team were up from the kick-off. You could see the determination on their faces. They started with a team huddle, which is, I like that, to be honest. And they come out of it all fired up. You could see how they were acting and the persona of them all, that they were pumped up and ready for this match.
You see, for me, the team huddle has to work. And by that, what I mean is they did it against Sheffield Wednesday and they came out slow.
Yeah.
So for me, they've got to actually believe the words that's coming out of their mouths during that huddle, otherwise what's the point in doing it?
No, you know what I'm going to say. I keep saying it. I say it on social media every day, 100 times a day. Campbell has got to go.
Go might be a bit too far.
I mean, not play. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
He can't play. It's like if ball goes to his foot, then he'll kick, he'll do something. But if that ball doesn't land at his feet, he will not run for it. And you'd verify this, Josh. He was on the halfway line and a ball was coming over. It was from a Fulham player going across to the other.
He essentially had a chance to intercept a pass and he didn't.
Thank you. I didn't know how to say it. And all he got to do was put his leg up.
Yeah.
Even with me and a walking stick, I could have done it. You know what I mean? But he will not get into any confrontation with that ball, never mind the player, at all. And I'm sorry, he isn't ready for this team.
Okay, well, I've got a few things to say on him. First of all, Nathan Jones himself has admitted that he's in a bit of a funny spot. He's too good for the under-23 squad, but he's not really ready for the first team. So it's a case of that's half the reason why they we loaned him to Shrewsbury last season. But it's also a bit of an explanation as to why maybe he's not played as much so far and maybe why he's not actually ready yet. So I understand that and believe it completely. I believe half the reason why we're starting him at the moment is because Jones believes it's better to actually have the talent that's in there at the start and sub him off than maybe not get the chance to use him as substitutions go against him.
I even said here that he would go off between the 65th and 70th minute and blow me down with a feather. He did.
Yeah, both games.
I saw him do it. There was nothing wrong with him whatsoever, and then all of a sudden he starts rubbing his thigh. And I thought, here we are, he wants to go off.
Mm-hmm.
And off he went. And that's twice.
Well, just from my own opinion, the idea is we had the Sheffield Wednesday game. Sorry, we had that many games lately, it's just keeping track of them. And I was concerned when the two injuries happened at the beginning of that game, because immediately first thought is, well, Campbell won't last the game, so he's going to be the final sub unless something goes really right for us. Yeah. And to be honest, it's a shame he had to go off because Edwards was injured, so we went down to 10. Now, just coming back to Campbell in both games, for me, what he really needs to work on is strength. He needs to be stronger off the ball. You look at the goal we scored against Fulham. It was a simple case that he managed to outmuscle the defender and get in front of him. And it's things like that I believe he needs to work on so that he can bully defenders more, because he's got the talent on the ball and he's actually a very good finisher. But he needs to not only have strength off the ball to outmuscle defenders, but he could also do just being more confident in his pressing. He needs to think to himself, right, I'm chasing that ball and I'm going to win it. Yeah. It doesn't need to be a half-hearted press where he thinks I'll just close him down. He's got to have the determination to go and win that ball. And I'm saying that, but there was an instant in the Fulham game where it was on our touchline and he was being goaded, in my opinion, a little bit by one of the Fulham defenders. And it was just by the throw-in line, and you're thinking, okay, just keep him there, and for some reason he put the tackle in. And immediately thinking, oh great, we can see the foul, which we did. And that's just another thing I'd say, just learn from those silly little mistakes, because the thing is, you've got your defender penned in, so just don't commit a foul, just keep him there. Yeah. And I think he did it against Sheffield Wednesday as well, or something like that, where I remember the commentator said that's just naivety from Tyrese Campbell. And it's things he will learn from playing, but he has got to learn from them. Just basically commit.
Yeah. There's been times when there's a opposition player and Tyrese, and he just will not fight for the ball, will he? I don't know why. Again,
it could be just youth and maybe poor conditioning. If that's the case, he needs to get fitter faster as well.
Yeah.
If he wants to have a professional career and he wants to be starting regularly, he has got to get fitter faster, because he can't stay at these fitness levels all career. Otherwise, he's going to become a bit of a joke. And and I don't mean that nastily, but he could score 100 goals for Stoke City. But if he's coming off at 60 minutes every game, there's going to be a big problem in the long run.
Can I just say as well something I noticed? That against Fulham, they'd only just, it's about 10 minutes in, and he came to the touchline and asked for a drink of water. Now, he'd only been on 10 minutes. A player who's playing at this level shouldn't need a drink of water after 10 minutes.
I mean, it is where I am curious, and I would like a bit of explanation from the club, just because I think we're all asking it. I'd like to know what the actual scientific reason is behind Tyree's not appearing to be well conditioned. I mean, is it something that is just to do with how his body is? Is it to do with the fact that maybe he's developed different to other young players? I am genuinely curious because I can't believe he isn't putting the work in. Or at least as far as I can't believe he isn't trying to get fitter. You know, surely that'd be the carrot on the stick for you. You get fitter, you play more. So, I don't know.
I just don't know, son. I've got no answers to him. But all I know is that Hogan or Vogue should be on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a funny place now because if he hadn't scored against Fulham, I would have been behind Hogan starting. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, don't change it, take a goal scorer out of the team.
Yeah, but are we going to have to risk changing him for no reason at all, only his own fitness at 60 minutes?
I know where you're coming from. But like this, either way, I am not complaining. If he starts, I'm not complaining. If Hogan starts, I'm not complaining. But I'm not calling for a change either way. You know, it's just, I'm happy to see what happens.
Yeah.
Just make sure there's two up front. Don't start Gregory on his own.
No. Oh, enough of him.
Oh, and just an added point, if Nick Powell's fit, don't think that Powell and Gregory is a front two. It isn't.
No.
Just put that on paper as well.
I mean, I have actually been on social media this morning and they said who should replace Etebo.
Yeah.
And I did say Nick Powell.
Yeah, I think he's been hard done by, you know, in the sense that he played against Forest, he came on against Huddersfield.
Yeah.
And he's not been seen in the last two, and you think, I don't think he's a symptom of our poor form, so no. I think, well, if anything, he's hardly played, so you can't call him a symptom of the poor form. So
and if Vince plays, I'll go there myself and pull him off. Yeah. I will. I'll get a fishing hook and I'll just reel him in.
I don't think Ince has done anywhere near enough to. I mean, when you look at it, I'm actually surprised Powell's not been on the bench ahead of Ince, but maybe there's something there that he wanted a tactical option. But Ince isn't a number 10, really. I think he did well in the opening game against QPR when he came on. He had a point to prove, but I think he needs to get hungrier.
Can I tell you what I think? He doesn't like Mr. Jones.
Might be a bit of that. I don't know, but might be.
Definitely don't think he likes Nathan Jones.
I mean, where I see it is...
Where we sit, we can see the conflict between the pair of them.
Yeah.
And it isn't a good boss-player relationship, that.
The way I see it is, I get fed up of players having the power. So if that was the case, I'd be calling for Ince to go. But saying that, I remember last year in Badou when Dye was angling for a move, he got his move, and I thought we wouldn't see him again. So I am not going to stick my nose in that kettle of fish again. But
I'll tell you what, he misses Etebo.
I mean, I think it was showing against Sheffield Wednesday when Etebo went off and Dye struggled on the ball. I think Ndiaye's felt confident knowing that if he can take a man on, if he makes a mistake, Etebo's there to cover for him. Whereas I don't think he has that same synergy with Allen or Klukas or when he came on Duffy.
Yeah. I don't want to see him on the pitch again. Another one.
I think Duffy's hard done by in the sense that he's not had a chance to impress. But if you argue, he had a good length of time against Sheffield Wednesday and he didn't do a lot. You know, I think there are chances where he could have put in a cross and he didn't. So, yeah, I think he's got more to do. Let's put it like that.
They had a free kick.
Sorry, both our watches have come unsilenced. That's how long I've been trying to do this recording. Let's go.
They had a free kick, Sheffield Wednesday, and Duffy took it. He couldn't even get it over the wall.
Yeah.
No, to me, that is crap.
For me, the issue is more along the lines of that we signed him as someone who could play at number 10, but he's a winger. Yeah. So for me, when he was in the wide areas, I was looking and thinking, all right, you're going to whip the ball in. And he didn't. He chickened out a lot and played to either Edwards or to Allen. And I'm thinking, why? Why haven't you actually whipped the ball in?
He was like hot foot, Stephen Nendon's...
Oh, no, I wouldn't give him that credit. I was going to say...
No, I mean how quick he got rid of the ball. He didn't want to hold on to the ball, so he passed it to Edwards or Alan.
I don't agree there. I know
he's not in the same class as...
I know you're not comparing him to Nzonzi favourably, but I don't agree that he was holding on to it like that either. It was like, with Nzonzi, for instance, when he used to get rid of the ball fast, he'd always got a man in sight. That was a good player to pass to.
Whereas Duffy hasn't.
Yeah, and I don't know why. To be honest, for me, all you have to do is cross the ball. You know, especially when you've got quite a few in the box. At one point, I swear there was 4 in the box he could have aimed for, and instead he squared it to Edwards, I think. And by then, they were pressing us, so we had to pass it around. And by the time it actually got onto the crossing position again, the players had retreated out of the box.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just wasting manpower if you do that.
Anyway, I don't like him, though, sorry.
Yeah, we're going from game to game here. I mean, that was Sheffield Wednesday. I don't think we finished Fulham really there, but it's been a lot going on.
What did I say? I said I was living on tender roots, which I was. Honestly, I was like, what's happening?
Well, when you... down here, there will be the stats. And I was doing them, and I'm sure it was something like 22% the entire game for Stoke. And I think in the last 15 minutes, we went under 20 to something like 17. So, you know, it was... We definitely said let them have the ball.
I was sick of seeing it in their goal mode, you know.
Yeah, you've got to say, they didn't have clear-cut chances for the most part. I think there was one where, you know, there's a good save from Federici.
Yeah.
I think that was from Ariata.
Yeah.
And besides that, I don't think there was anything of note that you think, oh, yeah, you know, they should have scored that.
Yeah.
So, we did a job on them.
Oh, I mean,
I'd like us to do a job on more teams, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was just glad to see that ball in that net. And how they held on to that lead, I don't know.
I mean, compare the Fulham stats to Sheffield Wednesday stats, and it does tell different pictures in the sense that, I'll admit, I've just noticed how fast the overlays are switching, so sorry if anyone's struggling to speed read. But anyway.
They will come round again.
Yeah, they will come round again. But yeah, it's a case of during the Sheffield Wednesday game, we had something like 52-54% possession, and I think we had a similar amount of domination in the final 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But we just didn't look like scoring. So I think this is a case where when teams attack us, we are quite capable of breaking them down.
Yeah.
Or at least getting a counter-attack goal. Whereas when people shut up shop, we struggle.
Yeah.
And I worry for that, because if anything, we're going to Millwall this weekend. It's the first game against Gary Rowett and his first game against Millwall, and for Millwall, should I say. And yeah, that's going to be a headline story this weekend.
We're not going.
Yeah.
I refused point blank to go to Millwall.
Yeah, I would have missed Millwall anyway, but I'm going to say I can't...
They can argue among themselves, never mind with our fans.
All it takes is a couple of bad mistakes from Stoke supporters and a few words gone wrong, and suddenly there's a riot going, so...
Well, you only have to walk past one and look at them and you've got your egg kicked in.
I mean, I'm not singling out Millwall when I say my comments just there, for the simple fact that there've been a few away games we've been to. I've heard Stoke fans saying things, which I've mentioned in previous videos, and I thought if there was a fan nearby from the opposition club, they'd have probably done their head in. So it sort of made me glad the away ends we were in were quite isolated.
I mean, I've had too many bad experiences with Millwall, which is why I wouldn't go there again.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't even like them playing at home. I just don't like them.
I know I know Millwall's reputation, and I've said it last season, but I do hope it's like the Stoke City supporters who marred the under-23 game versus Vale. I do hope that it's a minority that make a noise. You know, because if that's the case, then hopefully that minority over time can be squashed.
Yeah.
But equally, I recognise that minority is still there, probably. So, you know, I'm trying not to judge the whole of Millwall with the same brush.
Well, I've said here, yeah, you know, they've got Gary Rowett, and that's not going to go down well at all with the Stoke fans. So you can imagine they're going to give him some right stick.
Now, Stoke supporters, if you've got any sense, right, do not boo him. I would actually applaud him for one simple reason. Derby County last season. How riled up did he get his players, or the Stoke players last season for the Derby game at home? And then at the end he went and cupped his ears to the Derby fans or whatever he did after they'd been doing the snakes and all that lot. Essentially, don't give him ammunition.
Yeah, but you know that ain't going to happen.
I'm imploring it, but just don't do it if you've got any sense, because all it's going to do is create a motivation for the players on the pitch, and if they end up getting a result, all it's going to do is give Gary Rowett something to talk about in the post-match conference as to why he's a great manager.
Yeah, and he'll probably say something like, I can still rile them up.
So, point being, just keep your gob shut.
You'll try, but I can't promise. Anyway, do you want some stats? I haven't done stats for ages.
I'm going to say you've been typing away, haven't you? So what have you got?
Yeah. Well, we're currently in 23rd.
The lofty heights.
We aren't holding everybody up at the minute.
Makes a change. Sorry, Barnsley.
Millwall are in 17th. We are 7 points adrift of them, which I don't like.
But saying that's not insurmountable to bridge, especially if we get a win.
Oh.
It's 4 points, a couple of more wins, a couple of losses for them. And I know that's a couple of ifs and buts, but, you think it's what we're working on right now.
Yeah. They've won 3, they've drawn 6, and they've lost 4. We've won 2, drawn 2, and lost 9. Quite disturbing figures, them are, aren't they?
Just a bit.
But I do believe we can do it and move on up.
What disappointed me about the Sheffield Wednesday game is that we couldn't get the draw.
Yeah.
I stand by what I said, that we didn't really look like scoring in the month of Sundays at the end of that Wednesday game. But there was a spell in the second half when I thought, we're keeping the ball well. I think it was the Gregory chance that really got me. I think if he'd have scored that, things would have rightfully resulted in a draw.
I think we deserved a draw.
On the balance of play, I think the mistake from Lindsay was atrocious.
Yeah.
But when you take that out of the performances, I think we were on par with each other. So a draw wouldn't have been unfair to sort of want. So, I think that hasn't helped, because that would have made it, 2, 3, and 8? So it wouldn't have been much improvement, but at least we could have got to 7 points out of 3 games instead of just 6.
Don't carry on with my stats.
By all means, yeah. I'll keep my gob shut.
Right, Millwall's top scorer is Tom Bradshaw on 6, and then it's Jed Wallace on 4. Last season we beat Millwall at home, and a player named Berahino scored. I don't know who he is, but he scored for us.
I think he got a red card at the weekend, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, I think there was a lot of Stoke supporters who were quite cheery about it.
Yeah, as I say, I can't remember who he is. And then the away fixture, it was a 0-0 draw. And if we can't manage a win, I just hope that we can come away with a draw. As long as it isn't a loss, I'm happy. But I want a win.
I think a draw would be a good target for the supporters. And I know people say, we need wins. And I'm not discounting that, but the way I see it is Millwall, especially under Rowett, are going to set up they're going to set up defensively.
Yeah.
And as I said before, we aren't a team that seems suited to breaking other teams down. So the best approach we can have is just try and nullify any attacking threat they have.
Yeah.
That way, if we do our job and defend well and don't make mistakes, then maybe we can nick a goal and get a Huddersfield. We can get a Huddersfield winning like they did at us.
Yeah.
So, it's not going to be glamorous with that suggestion, but how many Stoke supporters would take a scrappy 1-0 win against Rowett? I'm sure a fair number would.
I would.
So, fingers crossed.
As I say, as long as we don't lose, I'm okay. But ideally, I've gone for a prediction of 1-0 to Stoke anyway.
I think I'd go 1-0 myself. I think, like I say, I've got Huddersfield when they came to our place in mind, and I think that's the mentality we've got to go with. Settle for the draw, but hope that we can nick the win.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
to be honest, if I could take a 0-0 now, I would take it. Even though that is absolutely terrible, I would take it. But I'd hope we could nick the 1-0.
Yeah. Oh, no, just change the subject altogether. We've changed seats, folks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can tell from the background photo here, but it's a
We've moved along the block, haven't we?
Yeah, we're now in the wheelchair area, and it's a little bit weird. I mean, I feel like I'm going to be saying something about the people in the area, but it's, nothing like this. But it's the idea that when you go in the little wheelchair area, you've got like a few seats you've got a wheelchair bay, and then you've got a seat. And then the rest are just wheelchair spaces, and then a bunch of seats behind that are like sitting at a bar without the bar. And altogether, it's just a little bit weird because I'm sitting behind my mum, like, say, I don't know, 5 yards?
Yeah.
And it feels like 5 yards anyway. And you can't really have a conversation, so I've got a kid next, I think it's a kid anyway, and I'm like, oh, hello there, I can't really talk to you, or I could talk to him, but it's one of those where you feel very awkward just striking up a conversation with a random stranger. It can happen, I know, but that's just how I am. So, it's a little bit weird how they've arranged them. That's
I'm
my
sat
point.
in front of a plastic.
Like glass barrier, aren't you?
Glass barrier, yeah. And, I mean, it's a good view. I can see everything.
I mean, I actually like it because I can get my phone out, take a photo like the one on there, that my arm suddenly decides it wants to vanish from showing. And
you haven't got anybody in front of you.
Oh, yeah, I've got you, but that's not a big crying shame.
I mean, I was happy there. I mean, it's unfortunate we've had to get the seats up.
Yeah, you were struggling to get from the car to the ground, weren't you?
Yeah. I just couldn't breathe by the time I got there. I thought I was in cardiac blowout.
I mean, if anything, it was interesting because with the not the wheelchair, the scooter you've got now, I was out of breath by the time I got back to the car. Maybe you could tell in the clip we did at the beginning.
I mean, it's heavy and you're lifting it in and out of the boot, and yes, it is heavy.
I've said, have you seen my muscles? Ooh. Right.
Have you seen my fat? Way up.
Worth banging the microphone over that. Okay, I think we were just waffling at this point, but it's been an interesting couple of weeks anyway. I mean, we've had a couple of wins, which has lifted spirits. We've had a couple of losses sandwiched between, which I'm hoping are just that. I hope they're the bread for quite a winning sandwich, because it means that hopefully we can get back on the winning run.
Yeah.
But we need to get some results.
Yeah.
It's why I wouldn't mind a draw, because I think a point is better than none.
Well, that's what I said. As long as it isn't a loss, I'm happy.
Yeah. So,
and we will be back to normal with the vlog.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we can come up with a better solution than what we're doing right here, which is we're really cramped up. We're not really in a great position. So, how long have we been recording? 30 minutes, so this is probably on the shorter vlogcast, despite the number of games we're covering, purely because we need to move.
Yes, it is a bit cramped.
So, hopefully we'll be back next week. We'll probably have to do it the same way, but hopefully things will get better.
Okay. Hugster, I'm sorry about Campbell, love, but I can't help my feelings.
Let us know what you think, everyone. Go and say...
Yeah, send your comments.
Like, subscribe, all the usual. There'll be the little buttons and things to press around our heads. YouTube's a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah, just comment. And if you are going to dislike it, please don't be rude and personal. Just, I don't like that. So please don't be rude and personal. Dislike it by all means, but keep your nasty thoughts to yourself.
Right, okay. See you, folks.
Bye.
Bye.